Hey guys, it's Carissa, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, The Japanese Art of Decluttering and Organization, written by Marie Kondo. Now, I listened to this book as an audiobook, and it was narrated by Marie Kondo herself. The good thing about the audiobook is I really enjoyed her voice. It was really pleasant to listen to, especially to have on in the background while I cleaned. That was really nice just to be able to listen to it that way, because who really wants to clean anyway? I do wish I had the actual book at some point though, because she goes through different steps of decluttering, and she has a very specific order in how she wants you to go through your stuff to declutter it. And it would be nice to have that actual list step by step like she does in the book, so that I could see it and refer back to it at any point. I can probably find all the categories and subcategories online if I were really to look into it. Now, I've heard a lot of people have said that this book is life-changing, and I believe that it can be if you're in the right mindset when you read it and go through it. But for me, it wasn't necessarily life-changing, but it did change the way that I thought about things. In this book, Marie Kondo goes step by step through the KonMari decluttering method to declutter and simplify your life. The concept is simple. Go through every item you own, hold or touch each item individually, and if it brings you joy, then keep it. If it doesn't, get rid of it. Now, I can't necessarily say that she's ruthless in this process, because she does sincerely thank each and every object that she is getting rid of, or she suggests that you deeply thank all the things that you are getting rid of. And so it's not necessarily ruthless, but she definitely is not messing around with how much she wants you to get rid of. There are several things that I really liked about this book and about her method. First of all, it sounds wonderful to be surrounded by only the things that bring you joy. I can picture that life, and it would be amazing if I could just have everything around me bring me joy. It just sounds like such a happy life, and that would be really fun to just obtain. Second, she says, do not go out and buy storage boxes or bins or organizational things. Instead, you should go through your stuff and find what actually brings you joy. When you do this, your home will already have the sufficient space to keep all the things you need. If something brings you joy, you don't just want to put it away somewhere in the back of a closet where you will never see it again, or in a drawer that you will only maybe open once or twice a week, if that. Now, I really liked this because a lot of organizational books will tell you the best organization method, or the new type of dresser or cabinet or thing you should buy to fit all of your stuff in. And that's usually the first thing they recommend, is getting something new and great. But what I really liked this because I look at my house and then I see that it's messy and I think, man, I do not have room for all of this stuff. No matter which room it is, no matter how big my house is, there's a lot of stuff, especially when you have a family. Go in the toy room and look around, and it's a mess. It's always a mess. If you have kids, you know the toy room is a mess. And it feels like you don't have enough room for all the things that you have. When in actuality, is that a word? I don't know, but I'm using it. When in actuality, if you were to go through the stuff, you would realize that half of it's broken or outdated, or it's already lived its life and usefulness, and you don't need it anymore. And so I really liked that she suggested just to go through everything first before you find the storage for it. It's a simple thing, it's just a really good reminder. Third, she believes that everything has a spirit. Every object, every item, it has a spirit, and it has feelings almost. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's her culture and her beliefs. But honestly, I don't have the same belief as her. But I did like the way she talked about things, because it made me realize that I do need to have more respect for my items, for the things that I own. Because if I respect them more, I will treat them better. And the better I treat them, the longer they will last. And that's just a great thing to know. Again, it's simple, but it's a really good reminder. Lastly, this book did motivate me to clean and organize and declutter. I'm not fully on board with the whole KonMari method to the T. I can't quite get into it yet. I'm not quite in the right mindset to fully commit to it. But I have started decluttering, and I went through my closet and I got rid of so much stuff. Like, I'm kind of amazed that I had that much stuff to begin with. But here is a picture of all of the hangers from my closet. And this is just mine, not my husband's, not my kids, just my closet. A picture of the hangers that I had left over that were no longer holding any of my clothes. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm not big on material possessions or thinking I need the latest fashions and this and that. Like, I don't shop very much for myself at all. So I was really surprised that I had this much stuff just to get rid of. So I was surprised that I had this much stuff just to get rid of. So those are the things that I really liked about this book. It has helped me clean. It has helped me declutter and get rid of things. I don't feel like I can fully commit to this method, though, until my whole family commits to it. Which brings me about to the negatives of this book, the things I don't like. First of all, I do not think that it is written for a family. It is written for an individual. I think this would probably cater most to people in their 20s who are just getting out of their parents' house and into their own house, kids in college, people who aren't married and who don't have a family. I do believe that families can do this, but the whole family would have to be committed in order to fully do it instead of just one person. Another thing that I do not think is good about this book is she does not cater to those who may be more frugal, or for those who save things from their oldest child to give to their next child when they're older, which, I do. She never mentions any of this. She actually doesn't mention toys or anything like that either, which also makes me think it is not written for a family. But this could be due to also, again, the Japanese culture. I know the Japanese homes and apartments are not as big as they are here in America. And so that could be part of it. But I do like to save things from one kid to the next. What she does say is when you're going through your items and picking it up and seeing if it brings you joy, if it brings you joy, keep it. If it doesn't, get rid of it. And she also says if you are unsure, then to go ahead and get rid of that item. And if it's something you really miss and really want back, to go ahead and buy it again and bring it back into your home. And that's just something I can't do. I'm not going to throw something away just to buy it again. If I think that I might enjoy it, not even might enjoy it, but if I think that I will enjoy it at a future date, and not just like, oh, I wish I could do this, or, oh, I've always wanted to read this book, but it's been sitting on my shelf for 2 years. I don't think that's what she's talking about. And I understand that it's all about the mindset, and she's just trying to get you to be free and letting go of all the things that you have, to realize you don't need all your stuff to be happy. And I do get that. But I'm also really frugal, and I'm not going to throw something away that's practical or that I can use that will make me or my family happy at a later date. I just won't do that. If I get rid of it, I'm going to get rid of it for good. And another thing that I really don't like about this book, it has nothing to do with the method itself. It's just throughout the book, she talks about how all of her clients are 100% happy with her method, and how none of her clients have reverted back to being messy or bringing clutter back into their home. And while I think that's great, I don't need to hear it 4 or 5 or 6 different times. It just kind of annoyed me to hear her talk about how great her method is all the time and how none of her clients have rebounded, which honestly, I don't think she can really know that. I think it's kind of ridiculous to make that statement in the first place, but she's trying to sell her book and trying to sell her method, so I do understand that, but you don't have to tell me over and over and over again. I get it. Anyway, sorry, that was just a little rant. I don't like people talking up their own stuff, but just a little thing that kind of bothered me in the whole book. But overall, I really did like this book, and it did help me change my mindset on the things that I have. I really do want to be surrounded by the things that bring me joy. And it also, in a weird way, has helped me want to take care of myself more. I don't really know if that's the book in general or if it's because all this nice weather we've been having and it's just springtime and so I'm starting to feel good anyway. But she just makes me... Reading this book just makes me want to be more joyful in my life in general. And so instead of walking around in sweatpants all day until my husband gets home, getting dressed earlier, maybe doing something different with my hair than a ponytail, although I still wear a ponytail like every day because it takes me like a minute to do and it's great and fantastic. But I have been wanting just to take care of myself a little bit more, and I think this book has helped me want to do that even more, which is great. And so I really do like this book, and I think if this is something you are looking for, then go ahead and pick it up. That's all I have for now, so thanks for watching. Bye!